Listen how they start this segment. It's almost as if CNN is actually rooting for Beijing.
So tonight, China using J.D. Vance's own words against him.
Let
those American peasants wail in front of the 5,000-year-old Chinese civilization.
Directly hitting back at the vice president's comments last week, calling the Chinese peasants, which...
I mean, it's almost like she's excited. Look at her face. Ooh, China got you.
Were not well received, as you can probably guess. It comes as the vice president also is bashing Europe in a new interview, saying this, quote, "It's not in Europe's interest and it's not in America's interest for Europe to be a permanent security vassal of the United States." Harry Enton is out front to tell me something I don't know. And there is a lot. J.D. Vance has, even since before they got in office, very clearly has jumped on board with Donald Trump's isolationist America First kind of agenda.
Stop. Did you get that? Isolationist. America First. We are literally right now revamping the economic order right now with over 100 countries. And of course, they're bellyaching about the tariffs. What are you talking about, isolationists? We just don't want to go to war at the drop of a dime. That's all we're saying.
When it comes to foreign policy. But do Republican voters agree at this point?
Increasingly so. I mean, look, the percentage of Republicans who believe that the U.S. should have an active role in world affairs. I mean, look at this trend line dating back over the last few decades. I mean, this is very clear. It was 74% in 2004, 69%.
That's a real shift.
It's a real shift. Look at it now. It's just 54%. So it's the bare majority. That is within the margin of error. In fact, if you look at 2023, it was slightly under 50%, kind of vacillates back and forth of the 50% line, but Republicans are increasingly of the view that the U.S. should not, in fact, play an active role in world affairs.
Is it possible, nay, probable, that the disasters that we have been embroiled in, from Afghanistan to Iraq, oh, don't forget about Benghazi, with secret bases places where we have no business being there. I wonder if that has anything to do with the numbers he was just citing. That maybe these failed foreign policies that cost billions of dollars and American blood, maybe people are finally catching on that to the military-industrial complex, they don't give a crap. Okay, they're going to get their money. It's just that our moms and dads lose their children.
And J.D. Vance was also commenting in this interview on the Iraq war, suggesting that it could have been avoided if the Europeans had been a little more independent. What did you find about sentiment on that war?
Yeah,
Hang on. This is so amazing to me. Why are we responsible to protect Europe as if they don't have enough money and or resources to protect themselves? What is going on? Why are we the world? See, and Donald Trump knows that America has been the world's doormat, that everybody else can just step all over us. We'll give you hundreds of billions of dollars. We'll protect you, and we'll do, and you can run roughshod over us. Oh yeah. Simultaneously taking all of our business, gutting the middle class. These people, man, it's almost as if they hate the fact that you have a president that is America first. It's not isolationists any more than China is isolationist. But guess what? They have China first policies.
Remember, we were talking in the break. I remember when the Iraq War started, there were so few Republicans who were opposed to us going into the Iraq War. It was just 5% who opposed the U.S. going into Iraq. And now you look and you see what percentage of Republicans, in fact, say that it was not worth it. It's 53%. I never thought, Kate Baldwin, that I would see the day in which a majority of Republicans said it wasn't worth it to go to Iraq, especially considering where Republicans were at the start of the Iraq War.
I wonder if weapons of mass destruction had anything to do with it. I wonder if Dick Cheney lying to the world that we're going after weapons of mass destruction, that we're going after this and we're going after that, the war against it, like, I wonder if that has anything to do with it. It's almost as if CNN is living in this alternative universe.
War. The president saw a lot of support from veterans, and obviously in the election. How are veterans feeling about him today?
Yeah, so look, I'll tell you something that you don't know, Kate Baldwin. And that is this. You know, you might say, okay, with the more dovish Republican Party, maybe veterans would be less supportive of Republicans. That is not the case at all. If you look at the exit polls, compare 2004, which was right near the start of the Iraq War, to where we are right now, the 2024 election, veteran support for Donald Trump was about twice as large, his margin among veterans, than it was for George W. Bush. I looked at every exit poll I could find this century, and what you see is that George W. Bush, Donald Trump received more veteran support than any other Republican for president.
That is fascinating. Something I did not.
So when you compare George W. Bush, the neocon, the warmonger, a man I voted for, and you compare him to Donald Trump, it's night and day. But I wonder if the difference is Donald Trump is doing what he's doing to actually benefit America and not his rich friends. Like, I'm amazed at the people who really believe that Donald Trump is just doing all of this to enrich his billionaire friends. Like, so there's no other way that he can enrich his billionaire friends. So he puts himself out there on a stage to be shot at. So that because there's no other way to enrich his billionaire friends than put himself in harm's way to get shot at. Explain that one to me. Maybe the difference is George W. Bush wasn't really doing it for the American people.
There you go.
The ball is in China's court. China needs to make a deal with us. We don't have to make a deal with them.
This after China, the world's largest market for airline purchases, reportedly is ordering its airlines to halt all deliveries of Boeing products, and with that, delivering a major blow to America's largest.
Okay. All right. I'll end with this. Why are we building airplanes? Why is the military industrial complex, Boeing, building anything in China? Why in heaven's name would we have an American weapons manufacturer going to China, our known adversary? What happens if we do become embroiled in a war? You think that China's just going to, well, I guess you guys can come over here and, well, you can get your equipment and bring it back. And we'll don't worry, we'll just hold off until you can, recoup all of the things that we've been manufacturing for you. None of this makes sense to me. They're building our. Okay, so Donald Trump knows this is not sustainable. Donald Trump knows China wants to rule the world. You know, I always talk about, this is a very, very old phone I have here. And this phone, I am not going to replace it until, it no longer can take a charge. Because I saw a documentary on cobalt, red cobalt, and in the African Congo. And guess who actually controls it? All of the red cobalt that, electric cars and your appliances and all that kind of stuff. Guess who controls it? That's right, China. Yeah, China. They want the world. They want everything. My family and I just went to the Bahamas. As we were, taking a tour around the island, our tour guides began to talk to us about who actually owns most of the stuff in the Bahamas. Like 65% of the island was owned by China. And so I guess we're supposed to just sit down and, well, what are we supposed to do? I guess we're just supposed to sit down and do nothing. It's time to decouple with China. We have no business manufacturing any kind of medicine that is needed here. They have a market on vitamin C. Why do they have a market? Why do they have the market share? Like 80% of it goes to China or comes from China. So if we need vitamin C, we got to go to our adversary to get it. So at some point, when they want to take Taiwan, they'll just take it. And they'll say there's really nothing you can do about it. Because if you make a move on us, we'll just stop sending you, all of the things that you need to survive. Like food. There is no, you will never convince me that it is a good idea for China to own our farmland. How much farmland do we own there? How many American farmers go to China and they can buy up their farms? They should be kicked out. I am dead serious. At a national security issue, they should be kicked out of every single farm they have. It's like nobody is even trying. They're not even trying. All right, that's it for now. If you like this video, smash the like button and subscribe. And if you're following me on Rumble, please press that follow button. And until the next time, God bless.